Okay. Oh, no, you piece of stupid... I swear, I really hate having to stand this thing up on the chair because the thing forces me to, because I can't autofocus, god damn you! I hate you! Okay, thank you AutoCut, and welcome to part 3 of the 84-in-1 review. And we left off on the bees with badminton. Now, for those of you who think that this is going to be a hack of tennis, you'll be dead wrong. And Space Android 8 pointed out the sound is very quiet. So wait, turn that up a bit. And yes, you have coat options. I've got no idea why there were code options. All they really do is change the background. As you can see, you have the selections. And I shall start. One thing you'll notice is that you can only play as Japan for some odd reason. Who knows? Maybe the people who created this game are just xenophobic. Who knows? But I'm going to play against China just because they deserve it for making this a piece of garbage. Okay, let's start. And no, Space, I'm not trying to accept stuff at the moment. I'm recording, goddammit. It was not the best time. Now, this game wouldn't actually be that bad, but what really ruins it is the difficulty, because there is only one difficulty setting, and it is incredibly difficult. Seriously, even after you figure out the controls, the AI is still way too good for its own good. And that was the lamest phrase ever invented in history. Well, at least so yeah, screw you, you stupid Chinese. I don't care. I'm going on to the next game, which is Voltron. Yeah, Voltron. A long, long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, we entered a Defender clone that's very mediocre. Yeah, I'll say mediocre, because, trust me when I say that if there's one thing this multi-cart has, it's a plethora of space shooters. Let me rephrase that. It has a plethora of mediocre space shooters. This being one of them. As you can clearly see, you fly around and blow up stuff. It's a bit like Defender, except not quite as good, because it just doesn't have the same, it doesn't have the same level of challenge. Defender, you just die immediately half the time. In this game, if you mash the A button, there really isn't much danger. As you can see, I'm going through the level perfectly fine so far. Although if you hold being down, you get to do the warp or something, where you have this little effect, and it doesn't actually do much, or it doesn't take you to another part of the level. And seeing as most of the level looks the same anyway, it doesn't really make much of a difference. So enough of that game. Next up is well, surprise, surprise, it's another mediocre shooter in the form of B-Wings. Well, this one is a little bit better than Voltron in my opinion. In this game, the difference is that you get a plethora of weapons to select from at the start of the game. I'm going to pick the hammer because the enemies can't touch this. Why can't the enemies touch this? Because I have a shield. Ha! See, I can follow up one-liners with stuff that probably means stuff, and then forget all meaning of English or something, and then start to sound like some kind of Chinese instructions sheet. As you can see, this game is pretty easy. All you have to do is mash the A button over and over again, which is funny because a lot of space shooters use a B button to shoot, Gradius not being one of them. That's like one of the few exceptions, or at least exceptions in good space shooters at least. But yeah, as you can see, it's pretty simple. The background doesn't loop properly, as you'll see in a bit. Yep, there we go. You can get this power up, although I'm not going to bother because it sucks in comparison to the hammer. In fact, most of them do actually. The only one I can think of that's any good is, apart from this, is the sort of like secret weapon that you can get in level 2. And that is a pretty good weapon, but yeah, screw this, let's go on to the next game. Boat Race. Now, those of you who have seen my, what's it called? Those of you who've seen my Arcade Action 2 videos, which I should probably get around to finishing at one point, will recognise this game from somewhere. As you can see, please select. You have this sort of, you have the difficulty select, which is disguised as level select. which it kind of is, I guess, but yeah, let's start. As you can see, it's clearly a hack of F1 race. And look! It's the return of our old friend Scrow! They just love typos. Yeah. As you can see, it is a pretty easy game. All you do is you drive on a boat that looks like a UFO but isn't, and the colours flicker at the bottom, so it's probably not a good idea to play this game if you suffer from epilepsy. But I don't, so I don't have that problem. Yes. I don't understand why the water is blue and purple, but that's just me. Last time I checked, water was not purple. Who knows? Maybe this place was just... Who knows? Maybe we were at the Gulf of Mexico or something. I just have to... So, but even after the accident, I have to make a reference to the BNP? The BP, rather. There's the BNP. Well, that just won't make any sense. But anyway, let's go on to, let's go into a game that some people seem to like, but I personally absolutely hate. Bird Week. A game with birds, and I'm not sure where the week comes into this game. Maybe they spelt it wrong and it's actually supposed to be an A, because the gameplay in this game is very weak. All you do is you fly around collecting butterflies and feeding birds. This is very similar to a game on my Cyber Arcade Center, except unlike that, which had graphics stolen from Super Mario Bros. 2, this doesn't, and is therefore not as interesting. The music sucks, the graphics are, well, they're not that bad, but they're not that great either. And the gameplay is about as dull as watching paint dry. At least in my opinion it is. Some people seem to like it, but personally I have to wonder what drugs they're taking when they're playing this game. So screw that, let's go on to the next game, which is Boom Man. You may be wondering, what the hell is Boom Man? It's Bomb Man with a different title screen. I'm not sure whether even bothered. But yeah, apart from that, this is the exact same thing. See, same graphics, same music. My everything. Okay, I've got no idea what that song has to do with this game. I've got no idea why. Oh, you bugger! Screw that. Let's go into let's go into Brush Roller. No doubt the best game ever made. And whoops, I get blind because I keep picking the wrong game. Yes, Brush Roller, starring some bloke who has a Z attached to his tongue. I've got no idea what happened there, but whatever. Maybe he was eating alphabet soup and he didn't bother to wash his face afterwards. Okay, that's a really lame pun, I don't care. And yes, in this game you play as this thing, I don't even know what the hell it's supposed to be. It's just some blob, and a pink one at that. I don't know, maybe it's supposed to be Kirby, and they failed miserably. Which will make sense, because this game was created in 1991, I think. Which was, yeah. This game is basically a complete rip-off of Matrix, and it's actually very similar to Boogeyman off the Caltron 6-in-1. Except that game was a complete rip-off of this one, which was a rip-off of Matrix, which was a rip-off of... I'm not even bother going there. I'm sure I pointed it out in another video, but I can't remember. But yeah, screw this game, let's go on to a game which I can't even play, because I'm using an LCD TV. Yes, that's right, it is Clay Shoot. And Clay Shoot is, well, the mode from Duck Hunt, separated into its own game for reasons unknown. Seriously, why did they even bother? Yeah, you also find that the regular Duck Hunt events, you know, the one with that laughing dog, aren't present on this mod, quite disappointingly. So whoever hacked it can go screw themselves. Next up is a game that absolutely sucks, and it just simply should not even exist. Shack and Pop, just one of the most, just put the, it's just what were they on when they made this game? It's like, oh wow, let's play as a yellow mutant blue and pink thing that has to go around destroying eggs which spawn shark looking things. and destroy cages with hearts in them. Isn't this the greatest game ever made? Anyone who says yes to that question is a complete retard, quite frankly. Because, I don't know, personally, call me crazy, but I've never seen what makes this game so great. It's boring as hell, and there is nothing special about it. Mind you, the slow speed of PAL emulation doesn't really help. But this game was pretty awful to begin with, so screw it, let's go into a much better game. Circus Charlie. So probably see they actually spelt the name right on the menu, but let's start. I'm sure a fair few people know what Circus Charlie is. It's that game where you play as a guy called Charlie, and you're in a circus, and you have to jump over pots of coffee, and jump through rings of fire. Insert Johnny Cash reference here. But yeah, of course there are other stages which are more difficult than this. You have the tightrope stage where you have to jump over monkeys and somehow stay on a tightrope. No idea how you'd be able to do that in real life. You also have a stage where you have to jump from ball to ball. Insert innuendo here. And you have a stage where you have to jump on trampolines that are suspended in midair. Again, how would that work in real life? And of course, you have the that trapezium stage. Yeah, because every Sextant game needs trapezium, because trapezium is for the win when you can actually do it. And next up is a city connection. I'm not sure what the connections are with these cities in this game. Maybe they're big ones, who knows. And that's what she said. I think I got to jump then, because otherwise I would have hit the cat and then died. Well, I say died, I'd have lost a life at least. I don't think you'd die if you crash into a cat. Unless it's, I don't know, some really bad horror movie. But I don't think it is in the case of this game. As you can see, you can attack the police, like in GTA. Then stop the violence from the police is from a death you say, but now he's deceased and got caught in a jail. Duplicate together, the cops and rovers and killed the man. What's my main name? To freak out the law, to think we got the frame. Okay, why am I making a GTA reference in a game called City Connection? I'll never know. But let's move on to Challenger. Real-time action adventure. Yeah. And let's start. And yes, Challenger, stop the express. Stop the express. Okay, in this game, I'm not sure if it's just me or not, but it seems like... But, funny thing is that this game seems to play a lot faster than usual, which is really strange, because you'll notice, like, if you're familiar with Challenger, you'll notice that the music is a lot slower than normal, and yet, for whatever reason, your guy moves a lot faster than he's supposed to. I really don't understand what's up with that. But hey, at least we got past the first page and on to page 2. And we get off to a really good start with the classic, that is Dig Dug. Now if you don't know what Dig Dug is, well, you don't deserve to be watching this video. As you can see, it's that game where you play as a deformed Smurf or something, and you have to go around destroying red thingies with your blowtorch thingy. Yeah, you're going to hear me saying the word thingy a lot with this game, because nothing looks like much else. And hey, I crushed a puka with a boulder thingy, because I win. See, told you I was saying Pookie. Pookie? Not Pookie, the other thing. But screw it, because I beat round 1 and therefore I win. As you can see. And yeah, looks like I'm going to have to cut the video off after this game. So I'll see you in part 3, people. No, part 4, sorry. Peace. See, I just saved you with my pause option, Dig Dug, or whatever your name is. Yeah, see you in part 4.